It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Miami Dolphins and the Indianapolis Colts. And it's all up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and this one is underway here on EA Sports. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Richardson looking to throw this. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. On the ground, this is Devon Achane. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd down and 9. Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Right back to Achane on second down. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Play action. Now it's Tua. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. The deep to return is Josh Downs. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. The drive will start with an option going left. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Now Richardson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Richardson looking to throw. That's caught. It's Josh Downs. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They go play action with Richardson. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. That time, Bradley Chubb shooting in there for the sack. I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off, and guess what? The quarterback's down.
Richardson to throw off play action. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down, makes it manageable now.
Now it's Richardson. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Josh Downs from 19 yards away. And the Colts post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So Miami coming out for their second drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Second and a couple. Here's Tua. He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Tua to Tyreek for the Miami first.
That connection seemed to work out okay on the first play of the drive. Why not go right back to it? And once again, this defense is left without an answer as they surrender back-to-back first downs.
Now Tua. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Now a 2nd and 10. Tua to throw again. And his pass incomplete.
You still hold your breath a little when Tua gets out of the pocket, but there he made the wise call. If there's nothing downfield, just throw it away.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Here's Jake Bailey now. Taking it about the 16. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Their quarterback leading this offense back out. He had the touchdown pass last time they had it. And they'll... Here's Richardson to throw. Dances by him. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now Richardson back to throw it. Can't get away, and he's taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster. Richardson.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 44-yard line. Operating from the gun, Richardson connecting over the middle with Downs. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd down and 4. Again, it's Richardson. Quick slant caught by Pierce. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 27-yard line. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Mo Alley-Cox. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Oh, Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Taylor will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. A 10-play drive that time. And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
We saw a strong first half out of the mobile quarterback, Anthony Richardson. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A 2-touchdown game, 14-0 the score as we get rolling again here in this second half. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the 3rd quarter. But you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Throw to the right, taken in by Berrios. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
He was able to get away initially on that play, but ultimately not much space to roam. Great job there by them containing him, because you mentioned he got away initially, and how many times does that end up with a guy taking off for 15 or 20 yards? Here, the support was there, and they made the tackle for a loss.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Tua sets up to pass it. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's fielded at the 45. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Richardson looking to throw this. A short throw. This is caught by Cox. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the 38 now, here's a 2nd and 5. On the option to give to Taylor here. And he'll get 3 down at the 34-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now Richardson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now a 2nd and 6. Again, it's Taylor. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Play action. Now Richardson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
A 34-yard attempt.
Gay's kick is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You've worked so hard to hold him to a three-point kick. Now you're giving him the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Off the option, here's Taylor. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
From the shotgun, Richardson to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
So many times we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
So they're coming up here on the 9th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. And he's got it. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Gay knocks this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So just 3 points there, but that important in the grand scheme of things is it's now a 3-score lead.
And to now, the other guys haven't shown that they can do anything offensively, so just take the points, keep adding that cushion, and let your defense win you the football game.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. And now a stoppage, and looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Tua going to throw. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. DeForest Buckner able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the fourth.
Fourth down, fourth quarter. Here's Tua.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. And boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Richardson looking to throw. This one finds Pierce on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Now it's Richardson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
It certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's Waddle. He's got the catch on the out route. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Here's Tua. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Looking to pass. Tua. The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. DeForest Buckner able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. On target over the middle to Hill. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Try to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Richardson hit it. He fumbles it.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give to Taylor. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They're going option play on 3rd down. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Give him 5 on the QB run, but it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a 1st down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. Gay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the big return had them fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a 1st down.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Miami's offense set and ready to go. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
In motion, Hill. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. In motion, Hill. Tagovailoa going for it on 4th down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Tua. Short throw to Smith. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2nd down and 3. On play action, here's Tua.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle from 19 yards away. And the Dolphins are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that cuts this lead down to 13. So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down. On the option to give to Taylor here. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And Gay knocks this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. Well, now how about this return? And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So Tua and the Dolphins down by 16. Exactly 1 minute remaining. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. Now Tua. Eluding the pressure right.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
They'll come up now, 2nd and 9. Throwing Tua. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Just a difficult situation to be in here in the final minute. Down 2 scores, you know you need some providence from somewhere. They're going to keep firing away till the end, but this one falls incomplete.
The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down. Here's Tua. And that will be incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Tua. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert. And they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. Down to a knee goes Richardson, and that should finish off this victory. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.